Hi, I'm Mika Truman, and welcome to my YouTube channel as well as Frankincense. I thought it was most appropriate for this time of year to share an experience of mine that I had that I hope that you will be able to find most useful, perhaps in your life, but then again, maybe not. So I had a very dear friend who was struggling. She had a son who was maybe around 8, and she had called me and she said that he was waking up screaming. And she really felt like that there was some kind of dark energy in her home. And she asked me what she could do about it. So I guided her on exactly how she could clear the energy. I suggested that she get some sage, some mugwort, some cedar, and go around and sage her home really good. And I instructed her to, of course, start with the east, and because she's on the southern hemisphere, to go clockwise. And she went to each room and each closet, every nook and cranny, and she cleansed really well with her sage and her feather. And so I suggested that she do that in the evening before he goes to sleep, and then of course open up a window and kind of let all the smoke clear and leave. And she did. And the next day I received another phone call, and she said that he again woke up with night terrors. And she was very worried and she was very concerned because she expressed, this is so not like him, for him to experience this, for him to have night terrors and all of a sudden sitting up screaming bloody murder. She would walk into a room and he would look at her like he didn't even know her and start screaming more. And I said, okay, well, let's go ahead. And I went over, because anytime it has anything to do with kids and the elderly, I love, love, love them so much, and I am most protective of them. And so I went over to her home. We smudged really good, and I put a lot of black salt around. And so we gave that a try. And I did say a prayer on her home. And then I said, okay, let's see if that works. And mind you, I have never experienced this before. So I was just going off what spirit was guiding me one step at a time. And when something like this happens, you don't really know what you're dealing with, what you're up against. And so you take the measures that you feel that you think is appropriate and hope that it works. And so, especially where I've never dealt with this was unusual. And so then again, the next day I received a phone call that it didn't work. And so I said, okay, now I'm getting kind of mad. Now this isn't okay, because you're messing with kids and you're scaring my dear friend, and you don't mess with children. It is totally unacceptable. So then this is where I got really serious, and I made some tar water, and I again went and I spent the night over at her house. And I woke up around 10 o'clock and he was starting to stir again. Same time every single night for the past, she mentioned it was like for 3 nights. And so I spent the night over there. And then he woke up and he was upset. He started screaming again. And I immediately cast out whatever was bothering him. And I got out the tar water. I started to spray all over the house. I went into the attic. I went underneath the ground, under the crawl space, and I sprayed everywhere. And I put out some salt again. I pulled out a tourmaline stone and put it next to him. I also got out my rattle, and I have a staff that I used, and I cleansed the area. I cleansed him. I went through, removed any kind of connection from past life, past, present, anyone that he was connected to, any lingering residue, ill intentions that someone may have for him, whether it be family, loved ones, or whomever. I went in, cut some cords, lasered them off, sealed them back up with love, took him over to mentally, emotionally, and energetically, because there's so much power in energy. And I took him over to the healing waters. And if any of you know where the healing waters are and what they are and what they do, they're the most cleansing, purest form of water ever in the universe. I took him over there. I dumped him in the water, cleansed his soul, purified his spirit, reconnected him to his body, and we've never had an issue ever since. So the power that you have when being able to tap into your own energy, listening to spirit and being guided by spirit, will show you and teach you everything that you need to know ever. So I urge you to jump over to frankincense, fsma.life, and check out some of our videos. We have introductory courses on clearing energy, saging, and also starting to tap into your own intuition, your own psychic skills. We have some great courses that will teach you how to tap into your own natural energy field. Blessings to you, and until next time, have a good night.